evening and welcome to my management presentation for Management 106. This presentation is part of the third assignment and it is the last half of the assignment where we go back and review one of the articles that we found on the internet and reviewed. Tonight this presentation is about imitation food and how much of it we are actually consuming. So I found an article on Stuff on the internet that basically outlined and asked the reader how much imitation food that they consume during their day-to-day lives and what an imitation food actually is. So let's look at imitation foods and what they actually are. I'm a consumer and everyone else in this room is a consumer. We all go to the supermarket and we purchase things based on the advertising, the marketing, the packaging. So many things influence the consumer. But are we consuming what we think we're consuming? When we see a product on a shelf and we go to pick it up and we read about what's in it, is it really containing those things that it says it is? Using Up and Go as an example, which is advertised as an energy drink that could be used as a substitute to breakfast, it has a slogan with the same nutritional value as 2 Weet-Bix and milk. But if you turn around the Up and Go and look in the actual ingredients, there's no Weet-Bix and there's only milk solids. This is an imitation food. It's saying that it has something or the same nutritional value as something, misleading the consumer and therefore imitating something else. So surely that can't be good. And the government realised this in 1938, where throughout globally it was illegal to sell imitation food unless it had an imitation food label on it. So every single product that was processed by massive corporations that had additives and things in it that weren't actually that fresh produce had to be labelled imitation food. But what kind of consumer is going to go and buy something that has imitation food on it when they actually think that they're buying a bag of peanuts, but instead it has imitation food because it's got salt and additives and all of these extra things? So by 1973, after sustained lobbying from these massive corporations because of such a decrease in revenue because no one was consuming these products, the label was removed. So now, as consumers, imitation food is back and it's here to stay because most processed foods have added ingredients, and that's because we need convenience. We live fast, very busy day-to-day lives where we don't have the time, possibly, as this is speaking as a majority, to prepare fresh food from fresh ingredients into something that we want to consume. But this has massively detrimental effects to human health, and there's new diseases and such massive health risks that comes with consuming all these additives that we want because basically we're lazy. We want convenience, but we don't want the additives because we don't want to risk our health, of course. That's natural. So where do we draw the line? Basically, because we've surrendered to these massive corporations that have just added all these additives to the foods because it cuts production costs for them and also it decreases the cost for us as consumers, we're faced with a trade-off. Do we want to be consuming these foods, and do we want to prepare our own food from fresh produce but have it take that little bit longer? Basically, imitation food is something that we are faced to make a choice about, really, as a consumer. So where to now? Probably the only thing that I could recommend and that the article recommends is that you prepare your own food from fresh ingredients. Obviously, if you pick up a broccoli or carrots or something, yes, they've been sprayed and it's quite unrealistic in our day and age to have all of your own organic produce. But aside from the sprays and everything, they don't have the additives like a packaged pre-prepared food does. You can make your own muesli, you can start making your own bread. It's basically about stopping being so lazy as consumers. And it's a choice. It's an individual choice, and I thought that the article was really interesting because it raised this issue. I retrieved the article from this source and which I found on Stuff. Thank you.